Hey everyone, for my JCL Latin project, I did my project on the Roman Domus. So, in other words, the Roman Domus means home, or in other words, they just called it the Roman home. So, just a few things to specify before the starts. I had some major technical difficulties with this project, so it may seem a little laggy, and that's because of just some major recording and technical difficulties. And so the main thing about this home is it normally consisted of sandstone, plaster, and even clay and tile roofing. So as you can see here, here's the outside of the Roman Domus. Uh, it's a very large home for back then, especially. And normally it would be either on the side of the hill or in the countryside, or in the very center of Roman civilization, which would just be in the middle of the city. So normally on each side or in front of it there would be a road, and as you can see here, here's the side view, and then right now this is above it, and there was a hole in the roof, and this was used for to collect rainwater when it did rain, so they would have clean drinking water. So here's the front, and as you can see, there are three holes in the front. The two on the outside are family stores, and the one in the middle is the main entrance into the home. And when you walk in, you will see a bunch of storage and bright paintings all over the wall, and a pool in the middle, which is located in the atrium. So this pool in the middle is where all the rainwater is collected, and they sometimes had altars inside for their gods. So further to the side is the household shops, and normally one of the servants or family members was in charge of all the shopping and I'm sorry, not shopping, selling, and this would consist of anything from blacksmith work, or even just selling food or goods. So on the opposite side of the house is the other one, and like I was saying earlier, this one, just for an example, is a blacksmith shop, and they can see the outside view. And once we go back into the home, we're gonna walk away into the first bedroom, and this is just a normal sized bedroom for the Roman home. And these bedrooms consisted of mainly one bed and books and shelving all around it. So it was a pretty plain room. Here's bedroom number two. This would be the children's room. This would be the children's room because there are two beds, and normally the children would share rooms if unless the family's house was big enough. So another very important thing to the Romans was the library, as you just saw then. I just went into the library, and since Roman literature was such an important part of schooling, they would have several books and possibly even a whole entire library in their home. So this spot that you see right here is just a spot where the Roman family and friends would just hang out and socialize. And to the left of that is storage room number one out of the total of three in this whole entire home. So in there you saw just some swords and armor hanging on the wall. And as we make our way towards the other part of the house, which is the dining area where the family would normally eat for breakfast or just other times of the day, it leads right out to the courtyard. So in the center of the courtyard, there would be a main fountain, and as well as several pillars all surrounding it. And to the right, when you walk out the main entrance, there's a side entrance which would normally lead onto a back road, alley, or even a street in ancient Rome. Alright, so once we go back in, you will see storage room number two, and this would just be a main storage room. And then even further down the courtyard was a place for the servants and slaves to like wash up. It was pretty much a mudroom. And then, as you can see here, this is where they would live, and the conditions were not very good at all compared to the Roman family. So, walking further down, this is the formal dining area where the Roman family would eat almost all of their meals and have parties where all the guests would sit. Alright, walking even further down, you'll see the final room, which is the kitchen. And this kitchen, the kitchens in the ancient Roman homes were extremely dirty because the Romans hadn't installed any chimneys into their homes yet. So it was extremely smelly, dirty, and smoky, which was made for the horrible living conditions and working conditions of the servants in the home. So walking about out straight out the door, you will see the fountain again, and the final storage room number 3. And sometimes in the storage room where that is located, there will be a set of steps going upstairs for the more wealthy families. So near the very end, they would back of the Roman Domus, they would normally have a family garden, which the family would plant whatever they want, so they would have some fresh produce in their homes. So as you can see here, is just the final overview of the whole entire thing, and then as you can see right there, that is it. Thank you.